What if the most generous man in your town was hiding a secret powerful enough to get him killed? What if the crime everyone believed was random turned out to be deeply personal? And how well do we really know the people we admire? Before we dive into this story, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe for more gripping real-life stories that reveal the dark truth behind cold cases. Make sure you turn the notification bell so you never miss any story and stay on top of every development. I also want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me which country you are watching from. Your support keeps the stories alive. At exactly 6:18 a.m. on a quiet Tuesday morning in April 2019, the calm of Brookhaven, Massachusetts was broken by a discovery that would haunt the town for years. A jogger moving at a steady pace through Riverside Park slowed down near the old wooden footbridge. The mist was still thick, the air cold and quiet. That was when he saw the body. A man lying motionless on the damp grass, perfectly dressed, one gunshot wound to the chest, no signs of a struggle. Police arrived within minutes, cordoning off the park as the sun slowly rose. When investigators checked his identity, the name sent shockwaves through the community. Daniel Whitmore, 52 years old. A philanthropist. A benefactor. A man whose name was attached to schools, hospital wings, and community projects. Daniel Whitmore was not just wealthy, he was admired. People trusted him. They believed in him. He funded scholarships for children who could not afford school. He donated medical equipment to hospitals. He quietly paid rent for families on the verge of eviction. So when the news broke, people asked the same question over and over. Who would want Daniel Whitmore dead? At first, the case appeared straightforward. Daniel's wallet was missing. Riverside Park had a history of late-night activity. Drug deals, petty robberies, and occasional violence were not unheard of. Police initially believed Daniel had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. A tragic random act. But as detectives began documenting the scene, something didn't add up. Daniel's expensive wristwatch was still on his arm. His shoes were spotless. His phone lay neatly beside his body, not smashed, not thrown. If this was a robbery, why leave behind items worth thousands of dollars? And why was there no sign of panic, no struggle, no attempt to run? The bullet had been fired at close range. This wasn't chaos. This was personal. As word spread, the town gathered outside Daniel's home. His wife of 26 years, Margaret Whitmore, was seen sitting silently inside, curtains drawn. She told investigators Daniel had gone out the night before to clear his head. He had been under stress lately, she said, but nothing unusual. He was a private man. She described their marriage as calm, stable, uncomplicated. But detectives know that phones often tell the stories people don't. Phone records revealed dozens of late-night calls made over the past year. Calls placed between midnight and 2 a.m. TOA number saved without a name. Text messages deleted. Emails erased. Who was Daniel speaking to when everyone else was asleep? And why hide it? As investigators followed the digital trail, the story Daniel Whitmore had carefully built began to crack. Then, 3 days after the murder, something unexpected happened. A young man walked into the Brookhaven police station. His name was Evan Cole. He was 27 years old. He looked exhausted, anxious. He asked for a lawyer before saying another word. Then he delivered a revelation that shifted the entire investigation. Daniel Whitmore was his father. A secret father. No birth certificate. No public acknowledgement. No family photos. Daniel had an affair in his early 20s, long before his marriage. To protect his future, his reputation, and eventually his philanthropic image, he buried the truth. He supported Evan financially in silence. Monthly payments. Private meetings. No witnesses. Evan said Daniel promised he would always be there. But promises change over time. Security footage from nearby traffic cameras confirmed something chilling. On the night of the murder, Daniel Whitmore met Evan Cole in Riverside Park at exactly 10:42 p.m. Two figures entered the park separately. Two figures met near the footbridge. Two figures who would never leave the same way. Why meet in the dark? Why not meet privately like before? When detectives pressed Evan, the truth finally spilled. Daniel had recently decided to cut him off financially. He told Evan the arrangement had gone on long enough. He said exposure would destroy everything. His marriage, his legacy, his name. That night, Evan felt abandoned, angry, rejected. A lifetime of being hidden had finally reached its breaking point. Evan admitted he brought a gun. He claimed it was never meant to be used. He said he only wanted Daniel to listen. But words escalated. Accusations flew. Years of silence exploded into minutes of rage. One shot was fired. One irreversible moment. In the aftermath, the town of Brookhaven struggled to reconcile the man they thought they knew with the secrets he carried. Charity events were cancelled. Scholarships renamed. People whispered questions they had never dared to ask before. Was Daniel Whitmore a hero doing good while hiding his mistakes? Or was he controlling the consequences of his past until it finally destroyed him? In the days following Evan Cole's confession, Brookhaven tried to move on. The case appeared closed. A motive had been identified. A suspect had admitted involvement. But behind closed doors, detectives were uneasy. The evidence did not fully align with Evan's version of events. And one discovery refused to stay quiet. Daniel Whitmore's phone, initially believed to contain nothing more than deleted messages, was re-examined by digital forensic experts. Hidden deep within its memory, they found a voice memo recorded at 3:11 p.m. on the day of the murder. Daniel's voice was low, controlled, but tense. He said, "If anything happens to me, it won't be an accident. Someone else knows. This ends tonight." The message was never sent, never shared. Who was he warning? And what did he mean by, "This ends tonight"? Detectives returned to Riverside Park. That was when they noticed something that had been overlooked before. Secondary footprints near the footbridge, partially obscured by rain, but larger than Evan's shoes. Not matching Daniel's either. Someone else had been there. Someone who stayed hidden. As the investigation quietly reopened, attention shifted to Daniel's inner circle. People who knew his movements. People who benefited from his silence. One name resurfaced repeatedly. Margaret Whitmore, Daniel's wife for 26 years. Publicly graceful, privately reserved. She had inherited everything within hours of Daniel's death. Property, investments, charitable foundations totaling millions. But more importantly, she had something else. Control. Detectives reviewed Margaret's phone records. On the night of the murder, there was a 7-minute call placed at 9:58 p.m., just 40 minutes before Daniel met Evan in the park. The call was made to an unregistered number, a burner phone. The signal originated less than 2 miles from Riverside Park. When questioned, Margaret denied any knowledge. She claimed grief had erased details. But grief does not erase phone records. As pressure mounted, another figure emerged. Thomas Reed, Daniel's longtime financial advisor and close friend for over 15 years. The man who managed Daniel's private accounts. The man who knew where the money went. And who it was sent to. Monthly payments to Evan had been quietly reduced over the last 6 months. Not by Daniel, but by Thomas Reed. Internal emails revealed something chilling. Daniel had recently confronted Thomas. He had discovered financial discrepancies. Money diverted. Charitable funds redirected. Daniel had planned to expose him. That night in the park was supposed to be Daniel's final cleanup. Meeting Evan to end one secret. Meeting Thomas later to end another. But Thomas never planned to let that happen. Cell tower data placed Thomas Reed's burner phone inside Riverside Park at 10:39 p.m., 3 minutes before Daniel arrived. Evan entered the park at 10:42. The confrontation unfolded, but not the way Evan described. When Evan raised his voice, Thomas was already nearby, watching, listening. When the argument escalated, Thomas stepped forward. The gun was his. Evan froze. One shot was fired, and the silence that followed swallowed everything. Evan took the blame because he believed he had no choice. Because Thomas promised protection for his mother. Because Margaret stayed silent. As the truth unraveled, the town fractured. Charity boards disbanded. Trust evaporated. Margaret Whitmore was questioned again. This time, with evidence. She broke down. She admitted she knew about Evan. She admitted Daniel had told her everything that morning. He had planned to come clean. Publicly. That night. She made one call. Not to stop him, but to protect what she believed was their legacy. The trial reopened. Evan's charge was reduced. Thomas Reed was arrested for second-degree murder and financial fraud. Margaret faced obstruction charges. The man Brookhaven loved was neither saint nor villain. He was human, deeply flawed, deeply afraid. In the end, Daniel Whitmore died trying to control the damage of secrets buried too long. And the town learned a painful truth. Good deeds do not erase hidden sins. They only delay the reckoning. So the question remains. How many people we admire are living double lives? And how many secrets are waiting for the right moment to destroy everything? If this story kept you thinking, like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you believe was truly responsible? And subscribe to True Crime Files for more stories where the truth is always darker than it seems.